campsite is all cleaned up. This is just the last of the stuff I got to bring down to the kayak. No trace left. Oh, except for a piece of paracord that Eric left on the tree. That's where my hammock was, right between those two trees right there. Eric's already out there floating around. Kayak is all packed. Eric's in the lake waiting for me. I'm ready to go. Just gotta push out and we'll paddle out to the hike out. So we are in the high peaks region of the Adirondacks, the southern end of the high peaks. Back there, covered in snow, I believe is Mount Marcy, which is the highest peak, the highest point in New York State. We were thinking about climbing that yesterday when we were originally planning this trip, but it was never going to happen with the strenuous hike in and then the terrible crappy weather we had. So you remain unconquered. But the weather is beautiful today. Slightly overcast. Very light breeze. A little bit cool, but perfect for hiking. Water's nice and calm. A little hard to believe, but there are people standing over there by the dam where we're headed. We haven't seen people in days. Just did not expect to see other people here at all. Bike riders. Not expected. Kayak made the trip, no problems. Now we just have to repack it for the hike on wheels. Okay, we are now packed up and ready to hike. Eric's just strapping down the last of his stuff. Got my fingers taped up to cover the blisters I developed doing this on Friday. Saying goodbye to the mountains and the lake and the river, and we are going to be heading down the path, which hopefully will be 80% downhill today because it seemed to be 90% uphill on Friday. So if my math is right, it'll be at least halfway downhill today if we're lucky. Otherwise, some sort of shift happened and everything's gonna be uphill again, but it better not be. At least it's not raining today. We are passing by the smaller of the ponds where we didn't camp. It's gorgeous with the sun shining off it. You can't really see it in the video, but it's all glittery. We're not gonna bother fishing because there's probably no fish in that one either. Luckily our hike out so far has been mostly downhill and dry. We are coming to our second uphill here in a little bit though. It'll be fun. We get to go downhill again here for a little bit. There's some trash in the woods. When you find trash in the woods, you collect it. Right, Eric?
Assholes.
Exactly. All right, we're about to go down. And boy, am I glad to be going the opposite direction this time, because this is just one of the steep ones.
That mile went fast compared to coming in.
Yeah, the hike out is going a lot quicker than the hike in went, for sure. Bottom of the hill here and try a little fishing. If nothing else, it'll be a little break from hiking. Stopped for some fishing. I lost a lure, got my feet wet. Eric didn't catch anything but stayed dry. He found a bear bell. So now I'm gonna keep it on my kayak so that he always knows I'm behind him. And I think we're ready to hit the trail again. Up the hill we go. Plug in the kayak. Always uphill. I was pretty sure the way home was gonna be downhill, but on the way in, this hill was down and felt like quite a relief after 5 miles. On the way out, not so much. Little green beetle. You're a decent little guy. This treetop seems to have fallen off the top of that and landed perfectly upside down, embedded in the ground. I would love to see that thing come down like a missile straight into the mud. Holy moly. It's funny though, perfectly upside down. And believe it or not, I know it's a surprise, we are going on this long uphill. We came from that long uphill behind us, and we're still in the middle of the hill. I don't get it. I don't feel like we went downhill on the way in. How are we going uphill on the way out? Okay, here we go. Wheels back on after a bumpy section. They tend to come loose. Back in business. Downhill. Yay. This was our lunch spot from Friday on the way in. We are 1.5 miles into the hike today. 1 hour in.
All uphill?
Half and half uphill and downhill. But considering we stopped for a while to fish, an hour for 1.5 miles is, we're probably making double the pace we were on the way in on Friday. So that's pretty good. So we have our first sign of moose tracks in the dirt. Looks like there's rain in them, so it had to be from day before Friday. They probably came out.
Yeah, it's cloven up here too.
It was it probably was following us on Friday because it was before the rain, or maybe right after, because they were stepping in the mud, so it could have been yesterday, but they weren't here when we were walking in. Right along near where the moose tracks are, just over there, we got cat tracks, so either lynx or bobcat, big bobcat. This is probably lynx tracks, which there's not a lot of them up here, but it's a big cat track. It's not a coyote track, it's too round. That is definite cat. Yeah.
No mountain lion.
No, it's not a mountain lion. But so we got moose tracks right there, cat tracks right here, and that's the only signs of life we've seen.
We saw the ducks when we came in.
Oh yeah, and there was ducks in here, and then we literally just passed deer prints a mile ago too, and that's all we've seen. But we haven't seen any of the things making the tracks. And we're on almost flat, slightly uphill grade trail here. Okay, so we walked another 25 feet from where I was just talking about the moose tracks. There's still another moose track, and now turkey tracks. I don't know if you can even see that right here. So, moose tracks, lynx tracks, turkey tracks,
tire tracks,
tire tracks, all in the same spot. Pretty amazing. So we found that hiking while carrying these kayaks, stopping for small breaks is imperative. Snack. Sit for a second. Admire the uphill in front of us and the flat ground we just came from. It's nice to take a break just before you go up the hill. Although you need one when you get to the top anyway. How you doing, Eric?
All right.
How's your trail mix?
Very good.
No more milk duds?
Nope.
Oh well.
The dehydrated cherries are pretty rock solid.
I'm gonna stop to refill the water bottles. Old creek. Nice clean looking water.
The light straw works.
Should be tasty. It's definitely ice cold.
Oh, it's nice and cold.
How's it taste?
Cold. Freaking tasteless. Good.
Like water.
Doesn't taste like mud.
Good. All right, made it through the archway. We had to cut our way through on the way in. Oh, obstacle. This is why they call it an adventure. Boom, 4-wheel drive. This is how muddy it was on the way in, that we were leaving ruts 2 inches deep. And on the way out, we're not even leaving tire tracks. It was like such a trudge through this mud on the way in here. It's so much nicer pulling it on solid ground. Smooth going. We're almost halfway to the car. It's almost not fun anymore. But it'll be nice to get to the halfway point because it truly, honestly is mostly downhill from there. Whereas up to this point, it's really been about 50-50. Although it still feels like more uphill, it's probably not. It's just about 12:30 and we've made it a little over 2.5 miles. So our pace is about 50% faster than the hike in. To take the straps from his life preserver and make a waist belt and kayak tow loop.
Hey, look at it. Gate ahead. We're almost to the parking lot.
And there's, oh look, the sign for the gate ahead, he says. And sure enough, we are almost to the parking lot we can't park at.
Oh my God.
Now let's see how this tow rope goes for the kayak. I am dubious. I just don't know. Looks a little wonky to me. We'll see how a couple of miles treats him. We are roughly at the halfway point. Little parking area, which is actually would be a nice place to park if the gate all the way at the beginning of the path wasn't locked. So we'd only have to be hiking half this distance, but it's okay. We got halfway to go, mostly downhill now, finally. We've gone about 3.2 miles and it's been just over 2 hours. And what was that, Eric?
I don't feel utterly destroyed like we did
On the way in.
Coming in. At the
Yeah,
3.5 miles.
it was an easier 3 miles than the hike in. So here we go for the rest of the hike. Just past 1 p.m. We've made it back to the beaver dam. You see where the beaver has cut off all these branches here to build its dam, creating this very nice little pond. Quite a feat of engineering, considering they do it with 2 teeth and rudimentary hands. Eric's gonna try a little fishing in the pond. On Friday we did catch one itty bitty tiny little brook trout. So we'll see if we can have a repeat of that success. I know it's surprising, but no fish. Although our one and only fish for this trip did come out of this beaver pond on the way in. None today. Back to the hike. Fresh water, so it's time to pull out the lightsaber and purify some of my creek water. That's why I bring a glow stick. The glow means it's working. 4 miles, 3 hours, almost exactly both. And I'm drinking my glow stick water. Tastes fresh. Tastes like spring water. Eric's still carrying the kayak on his belt loop. I guess it works. Uphill some more. This is a steep one too. I am getting worn out. You can hear my bear bell jingling. It's working. No bears yet. Doggies. There's doggies. Hey, puppies. So we've come to a pretty significant washout in the road. It was here on our way in, but it wasn't quite this bad. I think the rain has just washed away some of the smaller stuff. I don't think it washed over the road probably since we've been here, but definitely has washed away a little bit more. So this ought to be fun to cross with the kayaks. There's this pretty decent washout here and another little one up there, and then it should be smooth. Whoops, we had a bit of a tip over. And we're back in business. This is the real kayak off-roading here. Oh my God. Look at the size of the rocks we're going over here. Ugh. At least we didn't have to do it in the rain this time. But this road is in serious need of repair. Oh boy. We've got a little less than a mile to go. We're going downhill. And it's actually downhill, I'm pretty sure, for the rest of the way to the car from here. Oh, it better be. Sun is out, weather's perfect, little breeze. Nice and warm though. It's a good day for a hike. Well, 100 yards from the car. I can see it. Car! I can see the car! Oh. How you feeling, Eric?
Much better coming out than I did going in.
Yeah, I'm with you. How'd we do?
We got 2:35. So short of 5 hours. Right?
No,
Oh no, 4?
4 hours. Just under 4 hours. Just under 4 hours. Just under 6 miles. We really cooked it on the way in here the last 2 miles. Whew. All right, time to take a break and then load the car.
Time to find some peas.
Still snow here though. Can't get away from that. My buddy with the dogs must be coming. Here he is. Hey pups. Hello. Hello.